If you get laid off at 64 and just stay on COBRA, you can drain $25,200 from your savings in 18 months, and then get hit with a Medicare penalty that follows you for the rest of your life. I read the fine print so you don't have to. That's not a worst case. It's the default path, and almost nobody sees it coming until the bill lands. Every year, millions of Americans lose a job and get a COBRA notice in the mail, and most people just tick the box to keep the same insurance. But COBRA quietly bills you the full premium, and it starts a Medicare clock you don't know is running. In the next few minutes, I'll show you 3 moves. Compare your real options, protect your Medicare deadline, and audit your payments that stop this trap cold. Here's the number that should scare you. According to CMS and Medicare guidance, the Part B late enrollment penalty is 10% of your standard premium for every full year you delay. And it's permanent, added to every single payment for the rest of your life. But here's the part nobody tells you. Relying on COBRA is exactly what triggers that delay, because COBRA does not stop the clock. 1 assumption, 2 ways to lose. 3 moves. Compare COBRA against a subsidized ACA plan before you elect anything. Pin down your Medicare Part B deadline, and audit your COBRA payments so coverage never collapses. So let's start with what COBRA actually costs. COBRA is the federal law that lets you keep your employer health plan after you leave a job. But under that law, you now pay 100% of the group premium, plus an allowed 2% administrative fee. That's the full cost your employer used to split with you, landing on your statement all at once, right when your income just disappeared. How big is the jump? Fidelity's example plan shows family coverage costing $2,131 a month combined. And once you elect COBRA with the 2% fee, family coverage can top $2,173 a month. Fidelity COBRA Learning Center. If you'd been paying $525 a month out of your paycheck, that same insurance now costs you more than 4 times as much overnight. Now the second quieter trap, and this is the one that never gets undone. When you stop actively working and become Medicare eligible, an 8-month special enrollment period to sign up for Part B starts immediately. COBRA Insurance Medicare Guidance. The problem: federal rules do not treat COBRA as creditable coverage for Part B. So, staying on COBRA does absolutely nothing to pause that clock. Here's why that's so costly. If you wait until COBRA runs out at 18 months to enroll in Part B, you're already outside that 8-month window, which means at least 1 full year late, triggering a 10% lifetime penalty on your premium, CMS and Medicare guidance. Delay a total of 24 months, and you're looking at 20% added to every Part B bill forever on a fixed retirement income. Here's the myth that causes it. People believe that as long as they have COBRA, they're covered, and Medicare can wait until COBRA ends. The fact straight from CMS is that COBRA is not creditable coverage for Part B. Your 8-month clock starts when you stop working, and missing it locks in a permanent penalty. So put both costs side by side. Choosing COBRA over a subsidized ACA plan can cost a family around $25,200 over 18 months. Insight Northeast. Money pulled straight from emergency savings. Then, on top of that, a 10% or more Part B surcharge stacks onto every future premium for decades. 1 assumption, 2 lasting hits. Meet Linda. She's 64, an HR manager at a mid-sized firm earning $90,000 a year, married with both her and her spouse on the employer family plan. She has $250,000 in her 401k and $50,000 in cash, and she's just been laid off 18 months before she planned to retire at 67. Here's what Linda found when she opened her COBRA paperwork. Discovery 1, $2,173 a month. Linda assumed she'd keep her same insurance and pay her usual $525. But the COBRA election notice shows she now owes 102% of the full family premium. Fidelity. That's about $1,648 more every month, nearly $20,000 a year, coming straight out of her savings. Discovery 2, $16,800 a year. Digging into the marketplace, Linda learns a subsidized ACA family plan on reduced income can run around $450 a month versus COBRA at $1,850, Insight Northeast. That's roughly $1,400 saved every month. And over the 18-month COBRA period, sticking with COBRA instead of switching costs are about $25,200. Before I get to the last discovery, which is the most counterintuitive part of all this is the one that can't be reversed, no matter how much you save later. Discovery 3. A colleague told Linda to just stay on COBRA until it runs out, then sign up for Medicare, and she assumed COBRA counted. But the moment she stopped working, her 8-month Part B window opened, and COBRA doesn't count. So waiting the full 18 months makes her at least 1 full year late and triggers a 10% lifetime penalty. COBRA insurance. Added all up in Linda's case, the excess COBRA premiums over 18 months come to about $25,200 drained from her savings. Insight Northeast. And that's before the permanent Part B surcharge, a hit she'll feel every single month she's on Medicare, potentially for 20 years or more. So could this be you? You elected COBRA without ever checking healthcare.gov first. You don't know the exact date you stopped active work, which is the date your Medicare clock started. And you assume COBRA counts toward Medicare Part B. If any one of those is true, the next 3 moves are built for you. These 3 moves take under 20 minutes each, and everyone is free. And together, they can save you tens of thousands of dollars plus a lifetime penalty. This isn't theory, it's exactly the checklist Linda used once she understood what was really on the table. Let's walk through each one. Move 1. Compare COBRA against an ACA plan before you elect anything. Go to healthcare.gov, the federal marketplace, and start an application as someone who lost coverage due to job loss, entering your projected income after the layoff. Note the monthly premium for a silver plan and the premium tax credit you qualify for. Then set that number right beside the full 102% figure on your COBRA notice. Here's how in 3 quick steps. Start your marketplace application citing job loss coverage loss, then enter your projected income, and note both the premium and your tax credit. Finally, compare that directly to the COBRA notice's full premium, plus 2% fee. For most families, a subsidized ACA plan runs $200 to $700 a month versus $1,500 to $2,200 on COBRA. Move 2. Nail down your Medicare Part B deadline, because this is the one that becomes permanent. Use Medicare.gov's special enrollment period rules and find the exact date you stopped active employment, since that's the day your 8-month window opened. Remember, electing COBRA does not reset this clock. So schedule your Part B enrollment to land well before that window closes, even if you keep COBRA for a while. 3 steps here. Find the exact date active employment ended, count 8 months forward to get your enrollment deadline, and enroll in Part B inside that window, even if you're still on COBRA. Get Part B active within the 8-month special enrollment period, and you avoid the 10% per year lifetime penalty entirely. Move 3. Audit your COBRA payments and grace period risk, because a small slip can wipe out your coverage retroactively. Pull your COBRA notice and plan documents for the exact premium, due date, and any 30-day grace period. Then confirm every payment is made in full and arrives on time. CBS News reports that termination can be retroactive, leaving you liable for every penny of care received after cancellation. 3 steps to protect yourself. Confirm the exact premium, due date, and grace period. Pay in full and never short, even by a few dollars. And send payments certified or tracked, keeping every receipt. Get this right, and there are no shortfalls or late payments that could trigger a retroactive cancellation. If breakdowns like this are useful, subscribe. The next one's already coming. Why does this matter right now? In 1986, COBRA was enacted, creating continuation coverage, but requiring you to pay the full premium plus up to 2% in fees. In 2009, the ARA law added a temporary 65% COBRA subsidy, proof that lawmakers knew full COBRA is unaffordable. And today, Medicare's 10% per year Part B penalty keeps colliding with COBRA timing as more workers delay retirement, making the stakes higher every year. After you act, here's how to verify it worked. You should see an ACA premium far below your COBRA quote. You should confirm your Part B effective date lands inside the 8-month enrollment window. And if a COBRA payment is ever late, you should request written proof it posted. Those 3 checks tell you the trap is closed. Everything I've walked through comes from CMS, Fidelity, Insight Northeast, and Medicare enrollment guidance. And I've put the full links in the description below. If you want to check the exact numbers against your own situation, start there before you make any decision. You now know why defaulting to COBRA can drain $25,000 and lock in a lifetime Medicare penalty, and how to sidestep both. Next, I'm covering the Medicare Part B mistake that quietly raises your premium for life, even for people who thought they enrolled on time. That one catches even careful planners, and it's the kind of detail that's buried where nobody reads it. If you want to catch that breakdown, subscribe now so you don't miss it.